So recently I was asked to visit and talk to students from my old high school. I hadn't been to the high school in about, I don't know, 20 years. The problems were the same. You know, these kids who were not exactly excited about writing or reading. And when I asked them why, they said, well, there's nothing to write about. You know, I can't, there's not, everything's boring. And when I read them pieces from my own work, stories that are actually collected in Once More to the River, they recognized these places that I wrote about. These are the places that I grew up around as a kid growing up in South Texas. And they recognized those landmarks, whether it was the hand-pulled ferry in Los Ebanos, whether it was the border checkpoint in Falfurrias. And they were like, sir, I didn't know you could write about that. And I was like, yeah, of course you can write about that. And, you know, I wrote about my family. I wrote about the different sayings. There's one thing that my mom loved to say when we were kids and we were hard to handle, and she would call us hijos de la mañana. In English, that would mean sons of a morning, you know, instead of saying. So before I read these stories to them, they didn't know that they could actually write about themselves. They didn't know that they were interesting enough. They didn't know whether it would come out as writing. And I think that's why they feel that, well, I can't, you know, contribute my own story or a version of my story.